Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendall Morgan, and my presentation is on the tufted deer. A quick intro. These deer, called the tufted deer, are a small species of deer that sport large canines. They have the nickname of the vampire deer. The distinguishing features are hair on the back of their head and large canines that almost look like fangs. They are between 17 and 50 kilograms in weight. Their shoulder height is about 50 to 70 centimeters, and they are an average 110 to 160 centimeters in length. These deer live in the damp forests of Asia, usually in thick foliated areas. These deer are usually crepuscular, meaning they are more active during the dawn and dusk times, and are typically solitary animals, with only a few forming bond pairs. These deer will guard their territory and mates from other males. Fighting often is when the males will lock their very small stub antlers and try and force each other off balance so they can gash at each other with their large canines. This deer will make a bark-like sound when running away while flapping its tail with the white underside, much like the deer here in Pennsylvania, to distract the predator. This barking noise can also be used as a method of communication during the breeding season. Their diet is mainly vegetation. This includes leaves, grasses, and fruits. Their breeding season is September through December, and they practice polygamy, meaning more than one partner. The gestation period is 6 months, resulting in 1 or 2 fawns. They will stay with the mother for approximately 6 months before they are completely independent, and they will become sexually mature as early as 18 months or as late as 2 years. Some of their unique features, as I've said before, is the tuft of hair on their head. It's usually a brownish black color, and their large canines. You will also notice that they lack horns. Some of the males do have little stub horns you can't really see in any of these pictures, but they are there. This species is unfortunately almost threatened. There is not an exact population number because it's really hard to see them and find them out in the wild due to their thick habitat, but it has been estimated that they've had a sharp decline in recent years due to hunters constantly killing deer for meat and fur. They are also dealing with lots of habitat loss due to agriculture needing more land and the logging industry. Good news though, the deer does have a very high genetic diversity and allelic richness compared to many other deer species. This implies that there was either a very large ancestral population of these deer or that the decline wasn't enough to drastically influence their genes. This is important because if the species ever does become endangered, they'll have plenty of genetic diversity preventing mutations or genetic diseases when trying to repopulate. And then some history. I have a diagram over here with some recent antlered creatures and other deer, as well as the tufted deer in the top right. Some ancestral deer, they split off, and some develop no antlers, while others develop very large antlers. The non-antlered species develop large fangs for protection instead. I hypothesize that this is because, due to their very thick environment, their horns would get caught on the foliage and trees while trying to maneuver. And this probably is why that happened. It would also allow the deer to defend itself since it didn't have very big horns. These are my references.